Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. And again, uh, welcome again to Wealth Creators Annex discussion, where we are talking, myself and the wealth strategist Lamont Jackson. We're talking about the upcoming financial challenge. And Lamont, I'm getting more and more excited as we get close to that day.
Absolutely. I'm getting excited as well. It's definitely something to look forward to, pouring into others as they get a little bit of the information that they need to make their lives better financially, socially. It's just going to be a great time.
I like when you say make their lives better, because it's just something about finances that when you handle your finances, when you get your finances in order, when you get on the right track financially, it just seems to bring other things back in alignment, your whole life.
It stretches everything. The first thing it's going to do is going to increase your confidence.
Wow.
You're just having enough doesn't do well, especially for men. But
Yeah.
when you have an overflow, we have an abundance, that's going to increase your confidence a whole lot. And even from a healthy standpoint, I was raised to believe that if you didn't have money or some sort of income, you couldn't get sick. That's how I was raised. I heard my father say that, and that pushed me
Wow.
at least to understand that the financial affairs that you have to deal with on a consistent basis, they're very important.
Mm. Wow. 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 Well, it is. I learned years ago as a pastor, how important I was, when I would counsel our members. What really stirred me was that 90 some percent of the problems that they were dealing with was rooted in finances.
And everybody hides from it. It's it's
Yeah.
like the it's like the elephant in the room. Nobody wants to deal with it head on, which means that people don't know what to do. And
Man.
that's why we're coming. When you don't want to face an issue, it spirals out of control. And the only way that it does that is because you don't know what to do. So getting the advice, and this is at every level. Some people don't know how to write a check. Start at the level where you are, get the assistance and the help that you need, and live a different life.
Yeah.
Live a
Yeah.
better life. Every day it should get better.
That's really powerful what you said, because that's absolutely true. There's such a fear, and people don't realize this is what we're going to deal with. And I believe we're going to totally annihilate and dispel for those of you that have become a part of this 3-day challenge, absolutely free, coming this Sunday night. Please make sure you even register now. Uh, you talked about that fear, and that's why people really fail financially, because they don't take the courage to address issues that just continue to lie. And sometimes it is because they just don't have the right information.
Yeah, it starts with just the money. You have the fear of dealing with that, fear of paying a bill. I'm going to be late. It trickles down to your credit.
Mhm, mhm.
Oh, it's going to be okay. I'm not going to deal with it, or I don't know how, or it's just going to be that way always. And a lot of times that I found, people don't have bad credit. They don't have credit,
Wow.
which
Wow.
is a completely different thing.
Oh, say that again, man. That is powerful. You said they don't have. Explain that, what you mean by that. 'Cause that's something. Because that's all you hear about people. They say they have bad credit, and that's why they can't get a house. That's why they can't move forward. Man, talk about. You said they don't. What do you mean by that?
Well, if you don't have credit, you don't have active things on your credit profile. The credit has a whole entire profile that goes along with it that most people don't know about. And just because your score may be 500, if you added things to your credit report, it's going to change everything. People think that just because they can't pay down their credit card, that their debt to income ratio is going to remain the same forever. Not so. If you add a new account, it increases it.
Right.
And there's a lot of different ways to do that, that people, especially in our communities, unfortunately, just don't know. And we're going to break some of those rumors up and give the information on how people can do that so that they can live a much, much better life. You said in one of the previous episodes that we did, that as far as credit goes, people are so confused about what to do with the credit, they never even get an opportunity to approach it, to change it. Like that fear of just addressing it. Okay, let's sit down at the table. Let's take a moment to address everything, lay it all out on the table. A lot of premarital couples need to do this. Lay it
Yes.
all out on the table, lay our credit reports out, lay our savings account out, and let's go through it line item by line item and add a timeline to it
Wow.
and defeat that giant, and then move on from level to level from there.
It is the giant. I always say that finances or dealing with financial debt or financial challenges, it is the Goliath of our generation. It's the thing that nobody wants to attack, not understanding they're equipped. We're going to show you. That's one of the things we're going to really deal with too, Lamont, is that self-belief system, that belief system, because we're very strong on mindset. We understand that you can sabotage all your information if you don't start believing in you. I know you believe in God, but we gotta change the belief system so that you can believe it will happen, it can happen, and it shall happen for you. And so these limiting beliefs, these beliefs that it can't happen for me. A lot of it has come from childhood, poor words that were spoken over you from since a child, and they become really a part of your belief system. We're going to tear that down. We're going to lift you up to expose who you really are, so that you can start attacking these things like credit. Because Lamont, I say it all the time. Cash is not king in America.
No, absolutely not.
And you talk to any wealthy person, they would tell you that no, they don't have cash hiding under their mattress.
Wealthy people don't carry cash, number one.
They don't even carry cash. Yeah.
They carry it. Everybody in that instance, they're dealing with the credit system, and they've been able to maximize that credit system. And for the people that are listening, just imagine, for everything that you've done in life, for where you've gotten to at this point, just imagine what could happen if you understood the credit system and how to play that game. Your life changes overnight when you have. Here's a quick, simple example. Let's say you paid all of your bills, and this is a little bit advanced. I hope it's understood. But let's say you paid everything on a credit card with an interest rate of 0 for 18 months. Mm-hmm. And you got the points back from that credit card. And I get probably over $1,000 a month in points just on my credit card because of the way that I use it.
Yeah.
That's real money.
Yeah, it is.
Real money, just like that. And I'm paying or not doing anything astronomical. I'm living my everyday life, but I've managed to use a system that repays me for using their money for an extended period of time with an interest rate of 0. So it pays me consistently every single month. I had a conversation with my credit card company this morning. They called me because they know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
They call me, and what they do is they extend you more credit because they want to see you slip up. We're not slipping up. Yeah. We're being disciplined. We're managing. We're taking the time out and applying the correct effort that we need in order to maximize our life and our finances. And that's what we're teaching here.
So for our audience, for those of you that are watching right now, you're not watching by coincidence. We're hosting a Wealth Creators Annex free challenge for 3 days. 3 days, 1 hour each day, 3 hours of wealth creation training, absolutely free for you. But you have to register, and you got to register now. Lamont, we've been talking about credit and how you are supposed to use credit for wealth. And, I saw a statistic not too long ago that blew me away, Lamont, and that is all these major companies like Tesla and Facebook and Amazon, every single one of them's got their business started through credit.
Absolutely.
Someone credit them. They didn't come up with the $1 billion. They borrowed billions of dollars, millions of dollars, but they had a great idea and they got the credit to get started. That,
You know why they do that? Because when you have an idea, and we'll be going over that as well, when you have an idea, your money or someone else's money is better served serving your idea. Your idea can make a 4,000% profit,
mm,
and you're paying the bank 5%, 4%, 3%, and in some cases with these larger institutions, they're paying 0%, because they're using the same system that I just spoke about. What they do is they use a system of credit at 0% interest for an extended period of time. They're maximizing that to start large organizations and businesses. And in 18 months, they paid 0% interest and they made a profit of 4,000%.
mm.
That's
because because the asset they created through credit is paying
exactly.
for. It's amazing, and these are some of the secrets that listen that many of you have not been exposed to, but you will get exposed to if you register. I can't tell you how important it's going to be for you to register for this upcoming free challenge. There really isn't anything more important to do, Lamont. When you think about it, so many people are being challenged in the area of their finances. So many people now are kind of their dreams and goals and visions are on life support. They're at a halt. They don't know what to do to better. And then there are others. There's another side of people who are just exploding in this era. They're so the only difference, as you often say, is the information. That's the bridge, and that's what they're going to get at this challenge. And if you have not registered, I challenge you, register right now. Don't put it off. You can go right now to www.drken.coach, absolutely free. All it's going to cost you is your time. And we are going to challenge you. We're going to challenge you, but this is not one of those places where you're just going to come and just get information. Some of you got a lot of information. You're addicted to information, but you become allergic to application, execution. We're going to challenge you to put into practice. We're going to everything that we teach you so that you can see right away that it works. This is what we're going to do because we are called to serve you and to help you. And we know that if you see the value in what we're doing, we're not even concerned about the cost or what you would listen. When you see your life begin to change, we know without a shadow of a doubt you're going to throw yourself into it and that you're going to really appreciate what you receive. So, Lamont, there's something that I wanted to talk a little bit with you about today, and that is this notion of generational wealth, because I think that this is very much the conviction that one has to have when it comes down to really building wealth for their family. Um, the Bible is very clear. We teach a lot of biblical principles. We hear a lot of it. And it says, a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children, that is his grandchildren. But the wealth of the sinner is stored up for the righteous. We hear this quoted all the time. What is that? What does this mean to you? Explain to me because people are shouting around it, but ain't nobody manifesting wealth. So there's got to be something to this because this is the will of God for every single believer, especially those who are head of their household. Talk about
So to leave an inheritance, you have to, number one, have something, and it's not your job. Leaving inheritance could mean two things. It's something tangible, an asset that you can leave that has the lifeline and the longevity of something that can last for generations. Things that I'm familiar with when it comes to this is life insurance,
it.
leaving an inheritance. And this is how the wealthy get wealthy overnight. When a family member passes away through old age or sickness, illness, different things, what happens is they're able to leave that inheritance to their children's. And when you do those things in advance, you can dictate what happens with that. Now, I'm going to be very specific in what I'm speaking of. I'll use some numbers. So you have a family and the grandparents, of course, they may be up in age and they've gotten a policy. Let's just say they've gotten a life insurance policy for $5 million. They can set that $5 million policy up so that that policy principal is never touched. They can set it up in a trust so it's never touched. And the family lives off the interest. The children's live off the interest of that, and they never touch the principal. So what happens to that family line? They never go broke.
Never go broke because the policy is already in place, and they're not taking from the policy. They're actually borrowing against the policy.
They're borrowing against the policy, but they're living off the interest. They never touch the principal. So you can dictate where that money goes. Okay, every year, this children's children, this grandchild gets $25,000, $30,000 every year for the rest of their life.
Goodness. Wow.
The principal is never touched. The money continues to accumulate. And I'll stop there, but the money continues to accumulate, and the family generation for generations to come benefits from that. That's just one instance of leaving an inheritance for your children's children. People leave clothing. Well, clothing is not going to last.
And jewelry.
Jewelry may last a couple of generations. A nice watch may last a few generations, but you can only give it to one person. And it doesn't say, the Bible doesn't say an inheritance to his child. It says to his children's children. Wow.
Come on, man.
It doesn't say to a child, it says to his children's children. So that excludes that too. You can't split a pair of pants between two grandchildren. So that excludes that. So just those few things makes a difference. It said, but the wealth of the sinner is stored up for the righteous. And I love asking this question. If the wealth of the sinner, we can all read it together, is stored up for the righteous, how did they get it? How did they get it? And could it perhaps be because they knew what to do with it? So we're trying to put people in a position where God can trust you with more. And instead of looking at people, and sometimes people are not happy for people when they have it. Well, the only difference is they know something that you yourself do not. And we're going to correct those things now and make people accountable to wealth. Yeah, it's only information, but it's information that they may or may not know.
That's a good word you use there, accountable, because it is a challenge. And ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about the financial challenge, the wealth creation challenge that's going to be life-changing, absolutely free. But you've got to register right now. On the screen, you see you can register at www.drken.coach, absolutely free. But you've got to take the time out. You've got to invest in yourself. And I think that's what Warren Buffett said. Everybody knows Warren Buffett. He's one of the richest men in the world. But he often talks about how the greatest investment you can make is within yourself. And so these 3 days, Lamont, is an investment in oneself. How much do you care about your life, your family, your grandchildren? No one's going to do that for you. And so we're going to make it so easy for you where you won't even have an excuse, other than the fact that you just don't follow the steps we're going to be teaching you. But you will know when you finish this challenge how to get on the wealth path. And we're going to show you how to do that. So register now if you're watching. I wanted to share that scripture because it's one that is used so often in certain environments now. But how, like you said, how did the sinner get it? And Jesus talked about how when it comes down to finances, he says the children of darkness or the world are wiser than the people that go to church or people that are religious. Why? Because they understand the system. They understand the game. See, we've been so accustomed, Lamont, of hating the player.
Yes.
We hate the players who are wealthy, who are doing well, who are, and you and I have been blessed to be in circles the last maybe 7 to 8 months, where there are people who love the Lord, who are serving God, but they ain't broke. Okay, they are wealthy. They are going. They are setting their family up. Some of them may not all be wealthy, but they are on the road. And I just came out of a mastermind challenge a couple of weeks ago, about a week or so ago, and there was 1,000 people on a
Yeah.
Thursday night. I'm
Yeah.
still trying to conceive that because I'm a pastor. I've had a hard time just getting 15 people or 50 people at Bible study. And I'm not saying Bible study is important because that's eternal. We get that. But I'm saying to myself that, these are believers who have made a turn, Lamont. They shifted in their thinking and their mindset, and they're saying, we're gonna worship God and put things in His proper perspective, but this poverty game we're done with. I want, if you're watching right now and you believe what we're saying, just type in there, no more poverty. Come on, put that in there right now in the comments. No more poverty. You have got to be the one to break the poverty cycle over your family, because that's what we're talking about, Lamont. We're talking
That's it.
about changing bloodline.
Yeah.
We're talking about your family, your children's children. That's it, Keisha. Never having another broke day in their life. And
Somebody has to be the one. Somebody has to be the one. When you think about it, I have a T-shirt that says, "I am my ancestors' greatest gift." I am. You have to put yourself in a position to say thank you for all of the opportunities that's been afforded to you, all of the information that's been afforded you that your ancestors may not have happened. You're their wildest dream. Everything that your ancestors fought for in this particular day and time, this is when you have an opportunity to say thank you to them. And information changes that. Information is the only reason people are wealthy. And the usage of that information is the only reason that people are wealthy. And they take the step. And they take the step to move forward, and they take the step to better their life. So that's what we're talking about. We're not just talking about getting the information. We're also talking about being accountable, putting yourself in an accountability circle, an accountability group, putting yourself next to people that are also thriving, thriving to do more. And, when you speak, when you have information, when you speak, your posture is different.
Wow.
Your posture is totally different. Your confidence is totally different. And I've noticed even through the years myself, because I've, studied to show yourself improved. I
Yeah.
speak totally different when I'm speaking about something that I know. I'm very, very confident about what I say. I'm very confident about what I do. I'm not just guessing at anything.
Wow.
So we have to be able to put our generations in circles where knowledge can transfer,
Yeah.
where the teacher can become the student and the student can become the teacher. That's what it's all about. So when we transfer that information, that knowledge to you, who are you going to transfer that knowledge to as well?
As you were talking, I just thought about that there's a saying that says, if you don't, you can survive alone, but you can't thrive without a community. You
Oh,
can
absolutely.
survive alone, but if you want to thrive, you need a community to thrive. And that's what we're creating here, a community of people. And this is why it's important to get in that challenge. Uh, Take the time out, get it in the environment, get in the room with people who are like-minded, who recognize that they have to do something, take a step, take a jump, like Steve Harvey says, in order to change their family's destiny. And we're challenging those of you that are watching now to register now. It is absolutely free. It is 3 days. I think if you have not really are not in the place where you desire to be and know you've been destined to be financially, economically, that I don't see anything right now, Lamont, that's really more important.
No,
Did we? We're getting
Amen.
ready to end the whole nother year.
Yeah.
If you take a good hard look, if you're listening to me, I hope you hear this. If you take a real hard look at where you are financially, you got to ask yourself these questions. Am I really satisfied? Am I doing all that I can do to make a change? Have I done all that I know to do to change my situation? If you can answer no to those questions, then nothing is more important than you registering for this free wealth creation challenge, which starts Sunday through Tuesday. All you need is 1 hour of training with Lamont and myself, and your life is not going to be the same. You're going to not only get information, but we're gonna show you how to apply it. Application. That's why it's called a challenge. It is not, if you just want to just get something to take notes about on, then this is probably not the kind of the room you want to be in. This
Yeah.
room is not just, we're not just interested in giving out information. We have nothing to prove. We're here to serve you. We're here to be a blessing to you. And the only way we can do that and help you is that you register now for this challenge, absolutely free. Get in that room of like-minded people, go-getters, and begin to get on the wealth track. Because I can tell you that there is a wealth track, Lamont, and you and I have seen this. There is a whole new wealth track than what it was just 5 to 7 years ago.
Oh, it's totally changed. If you're still doing the same things that you did 5 years ago, you're left behind.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're totally left behind. And one of the things we spoke about in one of the previous sessions is inflation.
Yes.
Inflation has just skyrocketed. I'm not a avid person that goes in the grocery store and buys groceries, but I went in not too long ago and I was shocked at the prices. Oh my goodness.
Mm.
Like,
Wow.
if you don't do something different, get some additional information, something has to change in people's lives. And that's why we're doing it, because life is going to continue to happen whether you like it or not.
Mm.
And I appreciate your passion has always been to help people. We've traveled and you've met great motivational speakers, great people that make things happen and influence people. And you've always brought that to the communities that you serve. But people have to take advantage of it also. We were
That's right.
just in a we were just in a session that you taught on financial wealth and financial management, and there were probably about maybe 200 to 300 people there.
Mhm.
But it was a conference, and over 1,000 people came to the conference. But they won't show up for a
Mm.
financial empowerment meeting where they could better themselves. People have a tendency to pray, but
Mm.
God will answer your prayers through your works.
Wow.
He'll answer your prayers through a stock account. He'll
Come
answer
on.
your prayers through real estate. He'll answer your prayers through credit. Give God an avenue where He can bless your life tremendously instead of just
Yes. Yes.
car payment and paying a mortgage or rent. God is much, much bigger than that. But you
Mm.
have to do something yourself in order for Him to trust you with more, and He'll give you so much more.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will. When you do just what you said, uh, when you put yourself in the position, and we're talking about the Wealth Creators Challenge, family, which will take place this Sunday night,
Yeah.
Monday and Tuesday. It is absolutely free. We're going to be teaching you the secrets that we have encountered. We feel mandated to do this to help you, but you got to show up. I hear this expression all the time. Uh, I'm on my way to my wealthy place. So you hear that? You remember you
Yeah.
all the time. And so the question is, are you really on your way to your wealthy place? Are you really on your way to your wealthy place? This particular challenge is going to help you truly get or be on your way to your wealthy place. That's what this is all about, Lamont.
I've heard people say, I am a multimillionaire. And when you say that, I have a question for you. Are you a multimillionaire right now? Or are you or is the person you become going to be? Let's deal with the facts.
Yeah.
The person that you're going to become. And if you're going to become something, the only thing that's going to change in your life is information. So when people come into our settings and they do that, I want to help you become that person.
Yeah.
So through the transfer of information, through the transfer of knowledge, then comes the transfer of wealth.
Yes.
And then comes the transfer of knowledge again, because you have an opportunity to teach someone else and reach someone else. And that's what it's all about. That poverty and that poverty mindset, it's there. It's not going anywhere. You're going to have to move. If you're living in a poverty-stricken environment, it's not going anywhere.
No.
You're going to have to move to someplace else.
Well,
The only way that you can do that is through additional support financially.
Even Jesus said, "The poor you have with you always."
Yeah.
So poverty ain't going nowhere.
They don't have to be. They ain't going nowhere.
Poverty ain't going nowhere.
Nowhere. It's not going anywhere.
Nowhere.
And he had to. And God even said, "Will be amongst you always." He didn't just say amongst you. He said always. I mean, it's always going to be there, because somebody is not going to take, for instance, the challenge. And it's very important at this stage in people's lives that, if nothing else, you understand that there can be better.
It can be better. And I again, we're talking about the upcoming challenge. You can see it now. You can QR code it now and register. It is, again, absolutely free. What are you waiting for? You just don't get this opportunity. The information that we're going to be sharing, we paid thousands of dollars to get, and we're going to be giving it away to you to be a blessing. You say, well, why would you just give it away? Well, we know that if we reap, so we're going to reap. And we know that some of you are going to be so blessed by it. You're going to want to take it a little further because that's really what it's all about. It's about going from level to level. So register now. It is on the screen. Don't hesitate. Don't procrastinate. Don't say, well, I'll get to it later. Do it now if you have access to a phone, a computer, and take the time to do it now. And do what I did a few weeks ago, Lamont. I literally cleared my schedule to be a part of a challenge a couple of weeks ago. I cleared everything.
Yeah.
And you know how busy I am. I cleared everything and said, no, I'm not going to let nothing stop me from getting this information. And I'm telling you, my life is already better as a result of it, because of the great information I've received, and the application I've already made toward, because of the information, is already blessing me. So you want to make sure that you take advantage, you register. Don't procrastinate. Register today. Lamont, it's been great talking with you again today. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk again either later on tonight or tomorrow. And because I believe that this is good information, and this information is going to bless people. All right. Family, thank you so much. Don't forget to register. We'll be back. You can share this page, and you can like it, of course, at any point you want to. And I know without a shadow of a doubt, it's going to be a blessing. And you can be a blessing to so many other people. People are registering. Look at this. People are registering. People are going to show up. They're going to listen. Look, they're going to be a part of this thing. It's going to be powerful, and you don't want to miss it, because you may not have this opportunity again. Someone said the acronym, the POUR, is people overlooking opportunities repeatedly. People overlooking opportunities repeatedly. That's the definition of poor, because in America, there just ain't no excuse.
Wow.
If you can spend $800 for a cell phone, in which everybody has a cell phone, all you need is a cell phone now to create wealth, then you should be a part of this challenge. Okay, guys, have a great day, and we'll see you guys again soon.
I'm ready.